Hey guys, in today's video we will continue our story called The Return of Zalama. Now that Goku and Zalama faced each other in a battle where Goku was defeated in a very humiliating way, the question that remains is, but what now? What will happen? And what will Zalama's plan be after all? You'll find out everything in this new episode, so grab a bucket of popcorn and your soda and come with me, and of course don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Well, without further ado, let's get started. In a world similar to Zeno-sama's world, currently in a place very similar to the Zeno-sama Palace, where the two Zenos live, it was possible to see an angel in a type of training room, being the angel Daishinka, the high priest and the one who is in charge of taking care of Zeno and fulfilling his wishes. The Daishinka thought, if Zalama thinks I'm going to believe that he's changed during those years, that he's been sealed inside the Super Dragon Balls, he's sorely mistaken. I know he's not a good person, and I know he'll try to do something against Zeno-sama. Since now Zenio-sama isn't in this world, he can't stop Zalama from doing whatever he wants, thought the angel while continued to train there. Daishinka thought, Zalama is not yet at his full strength, so he won't attack for a while. But it won't take him long to have his original strength, and when that happens I'm sure he'll come up with a plan to defeat Zeno-sama. And that's what you should be doing now. And because of that, I'll have to train as much as I can to at least leave Zalama very injured, and that way Zeno-sama will be able to defeat him. The angel thought as he hit a bag boxing box only 1,000 times stronger than any material found on Earth or any other universe. As the Daishinka trains like he's never trained before, one of Zeno's guards ends up coming out of a portal and is a little far away from the Grand Priest. Zeno's bodyguard said, Great Priest, I know you're worried about Zalama's presence, but you mustn't forget your duties as a priest. So I ask you to go back to take care of Zeno-sama because he's already asking where you are. One of Zeno's bodyguards spoke to Daishinka, who had now stopped training. The Daishinka said, I know that, but I know that the damned Zalama was responsible for Zeno-sama's near death in the past, and that worries me, because only Zenio-sama was able to face him. And you must remember that I'll also face that Madlilto, but as I said, you must remember, right? I was defeated easily, said the angel while looking at Zeno's bodyguard, who had remembered him against Zalama a millennia ago. Zeno's bodyguard said, Yes, I remember. I remember you were defeated in a very humiliating way by Zalama, but don't forget that Zeno's other bodyguard and I also faced Zalama, and just like you, we both were defeated, and we couldn't fulfill our duty, which was to protect Zeno-sama. Zeno's bodyguard said while looking disappointedly at Daishinka. Daishinka said, None of us managed to fulfill our duties, which was to take care of Zeno-sama, and because of that I want to get stronger, so that this time when Zalama shows his claws, I can face him and maybe defeat him, and that way I can finally take the weight of the humiliation I suffered during that battle against Zalama, said the high priest while looking at Zeno's bodyguard, who understood Daishinka's feelings. Zeno's bodyguard spoke, No need to worry, Daishinka. This time I guarantee that Dragon God Zalama won't even come close to Zeno-sama, as I already have a plan against him. Zeno's bodyguard spoke. Hearing such words, Daishinka was very surprised. Daishinka thought, He's the other bodyguard. They never call me by my name, just for the title of High Priest, and not only that, he calls Zalama the Dragon God. That means he's serious, Daishinka thought as he looked at Zeno's bodyguard, who had a very serious expression, something that Daishinka was very surprised, because both guards always had a neutral expression on their faces. Daishinka said, Okay, I'll go back to Zeno-sama's side now, and I hope that your plan will work, because if it doesn't, we can all die, and Zeno-sama can also die, said the angel to the bodyguard of Zeno, who soon turned around and started walking towards a portal that had appeared at that location. Zeno's bodyguard thought, I also hope that everything goes well with my plan, but I also have a plan B. After all, I had several years to think about it, since I knew that Zalama was still alive, sealed but still alive, thought Zeno's bodyguard, who soon passed through the portal, leaving Daishinka alone in the place. Daishinka said, Zalama, I hope your plans take a long time, because with the time, I'll train and prepare to kill you, and who knows that Saiyan called Son Goku and his friend Vegeta will come help me face Zalama, spoke the angel while looking at the sky, full of stars of that place. But soon it opens a portal and returns to the world where Zeno lived together with his other self from the future. In Universe 7, Planet Earth. Currently on planet Earth, it was possible to see several of Goku's friends still worried about his well-being. After all, the Saiyan had taken a very big beating from Zalama, But as it was Goku's fault who ended up asking to fight Zalama, no one suspected the God Dragon taking out Vegeta and Piccolo. Zalama, who was still eating while looking and talking to other people, especially Bulma, where he was fascinated by Bulma's ideas. After all, Zalama and Bulma were inventors and always liked new ideas. And one of the projects that Zalama was wanting to know the most was the machine from the time that Bulma had created. Zalama, the more he talked with Goku's friends, the more he was impressed with his achievements. After all, Goku was the low-class Saiyan, and Vegeta was a high-class Saiyan. And even so, Goku was stronger than the Prince of Saiyans, and both Saiyans had already faced very powerful enemies, and yet they beat them all, even if they sometimes had to die in the process. They always came back to life. But one thing that no one noticed was the disgust and repulsion as well as anger that Zalama felt when he heard certain things like coming back to life whenever they wanted or traveling through time. These things were something unforgivable for Zalama, and he wondered why Zeno or the angels hadn't done anything to stop it at all. Zalama thought, Zeno is just a child playing God. How is it possible that he's allowed these mortals to do these kind of things? Like go back in time and revive whenever they want to. This can change the entire history of a universe, or even create new timelines. Everything now makes sense that explains the birth of Goku Black, thought Zalama as he felt angry at Zeno for allowing such things that could destroy his own time. Bulma said, What happened, Zalama? You're looking like you're angry. Has something happened? The blue-haired woman asked Zalama, who soon came out of her thoughts and looked at Bulma. Zalama said, Nothing happened. I was just thinking about some things from my past. Things that I'm ashamed of, and I'm angry with myself for doing, said Zalama with a face and angrily pretending it was his past fault. Zalama said, You know, even though I was strong, I was always jealous of Zenio for being stronger than me, and my envy only increased even more after I found out that Zenio had created several universes and gave it to his son to rule everything, and that left me with a lot of rage, just thinking that someone like Zeno would have absolute control of several universes, being that he was just an immature child, said Zalama with a tone of sadness and anger, at the same time making Bulma and some other people in the place get moved with his words. Bulma said, But this is now in the past. Now you should focus on the future and not complain about your wrong decisions, and try to make the right decisions from today, said the woman, trying to comfort Zalama, who broke into a big smile, but it was a smile of pride and disgust while looking at Bulma. Zalama thought, I thought mortals were intelligent, especially this human, but now I realize that she's very easy to manipulate, just like these other humans, and I am really disappointed. Not only that I feel sorry for Beerus and Whis for being such idiots to the point that they don't realize I'm fooling everyone in this place, to make it easier for them to show and teach me their secrets, especially the time machines, and I also really want the seeds of the gods, thought Zalama, as he looked at everyone while the one on his face had several drops of fake tears in his eyes, as Goku and the others tried to comfort Zalama, who thought how easy it was to manipulate all these mortals. While Zalama continued to manipulate everyone in the place, Vegeta and Piccolo, who were estranged from Zalama, started talking about Zalama and his intentions. Vegeta said, The more I hear what he says, the more I think he's not telling the truth. What do you think? Vegeta said as he looked at Zalama, and then asked Piccolo what he thought about Zalama's intentions. Piccolo thought, I'm also thinking it's weird here. For some reason I think he's lying to us, and I'm sure his lies will put us in danger. And I'm sure he still hasn't forgotten what happened between him and this one, such Zenio, the Namekian said while looking at the dragon god Zalama, who was talking excitedly with everyone in the place, as he thought about how he would kill Zeno and steal his throne on planet Earth. Currently on planet Earth, it was possible to see Zalama in the furthest place from everyone, where he was already organizing his plan to defeat Zeno-sama and take his throne and thus become the supreme being among all the universes. Zalama thought, if it was thousands of years ago, before I was sealed by Zenio, I could easily finish off those brats of Zeno, and not only him and the Daishinkan as well, but because of my sealing, a lot of my power was lost. So now I have to come up with a plan to defeat Zeno and Daishinkan at once, thought Zalama, as he watched everyone at the party, and at the same time, ate some ramen. Zalama thought, not counting those Zeno bodyguards, the last time I faced them, they were both very weak back then. But unfortunately now I'm weaker, and I know they must have come up with a plan to defeat me in case I get out of control and try to kill Zeno again. So I just need to be careful because they don't know about my plans, and that already gives me an advantage to defeat them, thought Zalama while remembering his battle against Zeno's bodyguards, where he defeated them in an overwhelming way. Zalama thought, well, whatever they may even be thinking, that they're stronger than me, but in reality I'm prepared to get stronger, and so when they least expect it, I will defeat them. But for now I must wait and keep my performance to make everyone in this place think I'm someone to be trusted, thought Zalama as he finished eating and soon noticed two people talking further away from the other people named Vegeta and Piccolo. Zalama thought, well, almost everyone thinks I'm good, but those two have some suspicions about me. Is it that I don't pretend to be a good enough person, or the two of them are very suspicious? Well, I just have to keep acting like a good person and they'll forget about this suspicion on me, thought Zalama as he looked at Vegeta and Piccolo, who clearly didn't like Zalama's presence. After some time watching Vegeta and Piccolo, Zalama finally decides to go back to the party, where he started talking to everyone in the place without exception. Something that Vegeta and Piccolo found very strange, that Zalama's interest with other people who weren't even strong. Vegeta said, now he suddenly wants to know about everyone at the party. But I find this guy strange, said the Prince of Saiyajins while watching Zalama. Piccolo said, more and more strange, more and more suspicious. This Zalama must be plotting something. But even if he were doing something, none of us could stop him. After all, he's still one of the 5 strongest beings in all the universes, and even Goku couldn't hurt him, spoke Piccolo while looking at Vegeta, who clicks his tongue because Piccolo is saying that he is weaker than Goku. Vegeta says, it's not because Kakarot lost his battle against Zalama that I would lose to him too, said the Saiyan, a little annoyed with Piccolo. Piccolo said, let's be honest, Vegeta. Goku is stronger than you and maybe the only way you can match Zalama, and if you two merge and then maybe you can end up hurting Zalama a little. But I doubt you can beat him, said the Namekian while looking at the Prince of Saiyans, who was annoyed to know that Piccolo was right at that moment. Bulma said, wow, you two really didn't like Zalama, did you? Said the woman arriving at that place and facing her husband and Piccolo. Vegeta said, no, I'm sure this Zalama isn't telling the whole truth about him. Not to mention he's changed so much after being sealed thousands of years inside the Super Dragon Balls. That's weird, said the Prince of Saiyans to Bulma, who stared at him. Bulma said, and you, Piccolo, what do you think about all this? The woman asked the Namekian. Piccolo said, to be honest, I don't think he regrets everything he did. And if he had been sealed by someone and after long years, I would want revenge. And that's why I don't trust Zalama, even though he's the first Namek. I didn't like this guy at all, said the Namekian, while facing Bulma, who after Piccolo and her husband's words, started to think about Zalama. Bulma said, now that you're talking, Zalama asked me several questions about the time machine, and also about the seeds of the gods. The woman said, soon leaving Piccolo and Vegeta worried about what Zalama would want with such information. Piccolo said, what does Zalama want with the seeds of the gods and the time machine? The Namekian wondered as he looked at the Saiyan next to him. Vegeta said, to be honest, I don't know, but I know what a good thing is it shouldn't be, said the Saiyan, already a little worried and annoyed about what Zalama would want with the seeds of the gods and the time machine created by Bulma. Bulma said, if you're so worried about this Zalama, why don't you talk about it with Whis or Beerus? Spoke Bulma while looking at Vegeta, who said, no, if we say that to Beerus or Whis, he'll probably want to talk to Zalama, and if that happens, said the Saiyan, and then paused, and Piccolo finished his sentence saying, we will all die. He's one of the 5 strongest beings in all the universes, so he could defeat all of us together, even Mr. Beerus and Whis, said the Namekian while looking at Bulma, who now understood, while they still haven't said anything to Beerus or Whis. Bulma said, so the only one we can count on about Zalama's suspicion is the Daishinkan High Priest. He spoke to Bulma, giving the idea of who could help them, and Daishinkan would be the best option among them all. Vegeta said, true, but how are we going to ask this to the Daishinkan? Asked the Saiyan while looking at Bulma, who immediately answered him, saying, Goku! He has the device that can summon Zeno or be summoned to Zeno's world. So if he presses that button, he can go to Zeno's world and take you together. And there you can talk to Daishinkan. But it's better not to say that to anyone but us, and especially to someone who would talk to Zalama or Beerus, said the woman while looking at her husband, and gave the idea of how they could talk to someone who would believe them. Piccolo said, This is a good idea. So do any of you know where Goku kept this button to summon Zeno or go to his world? Piccolo asked while looking at Bulma and Vegeta. Bulma said, I don't know where he could have kept that button, but I'm sure Vegeta doesn't know either. So now we can only hope that Goku recovers as soon as possible, and only then will you be able to go to the world of Zeno. And who knows when you get there, both you and Goku can't be trained by the Great Priest. If that happens, maybe you can face Lord Zalama, said the woman, suggesting the training request for her husband and Piccolo. Vegeta said, yeah, that's a good idea. If I'm trained by the Daishinkan, I will finally be stronger than Kakarot, and I will be able to defeat Zalama myself, said the Saiyan in a lively and arrogant way, like a real Saiyan. Piccolo said, even in this situation, you still think about overcoming Goku, spoke the Namekian after heaving a heavy sigh because of Vegeta's arrogance and desire to surpass Goku. Piccolo thought, even though I know if I'm trained by the Daishinkan and get stronger, I know I won't be so strong as to injure Zalama, let alone defeat him, but at least I can help Goku and Vegeta defeat him. After all, I can't let this damn one touch any of those I like, thought the Namekian as he clenched his fist and looked back and watched Goku and his family, a family he liked to be a part of. Now with Zalama. A little further away from Piccolo and Vegeta, it was possible to see Zalama in the middle of a party talking to everyone, while giving Vegeta and the others next to him light glances. Zalama thought, looks like I'll have to act faster than I thought, because it looks like those two will do something, and it might get in my way. I'll have to act as soon as possible, thought the Dragon God as he looked at Vegeta and his group who were talking about Zalama. At Capsule Corporation. Currently in the Capsule Corporation, but precisely in one of the underground rooms, was Son Goku in a recovery capsule, recovering from the battle against Zalama. It didn't take long for Vegeta and Piccolo along with Bulma to enter the place and face the capsule where the Saiyan was. Piccolo said, are you sure waking up Son Goku now will be good? Son Goku ended up taking a beating from Zalama, and I don't know if Son Goku is completely recovered, said the Namekian to the Saiyan and his wife. Bulma said, I'm not sure, but we can't wait for Son Goku to recover completely, and besides, we can use the seeds of the gods so that Goku recovers faster, said the blue-haired woman while looking at the Namekian. Vegeta spoke, that's not important. We need to talk to the Daishinkan, and the only way to do that without having to talk to Whis or Beerus is using the button that only Kakarot has. In short, wake up Kakarot because he's the only one who can help us right now, said the Prince of Saiyans to Bulma and Piccolo, who even though he didn't agree, saw that it was necessary to do that. Piccolo said, I hate to say this, but I agree with Vegeta. We need Goku to use that button that Zeno-sama gave him, and only Son Goku knows where that button is, said the Namekian while looking at Bulma. Bulma said, we've already decided. We're going to awaken Goku, and then we'll give him a seed of the gods. After that, we'll ask Son Goku if he knows where the button is. And we'll find a way to talk to the High Priest, said the woman while looking at the two men beside her, who just nodded in agreement. Bulma said, Piccolo, you have more affinity with Krillin, so take a seed of the gods with him. Krillin always has some with him just in case, since you're always facing a threat that is usually a danger to all of us, said the woman for Namek. Piccolo said, all right, wake up, Goku. I'll be back in a short time, said the Namekian, leaving the place and going after Krillin. It didn't take long for Piccolo to leave the Capsule Corporation and go after Krillin, who was with his family, but beside him was also Zalama, who was talking to the human about the seeds of the gods. Piccolo said, Krillin, I know you always carry some seeds of the gods, so give me the seed of the gods, please, said the Namekian while looking at the human, trying to ignore the presence of the Dragon God. Krillin said, what do you need the seeds of the gods for, Piccolo? Asked the human to the Namekian. Piccolo said, it's just that Goku woke up and is complaining about the lack of strength. Because of that, I came here to get the seeds of the gods from you, said the Namekian to the human, attracting the attention of the Dragon God. Zalama said, if you want, I can go with you. I can heal Goku myself using one of my techniques, and that way it won't be necessary to use those seeds of the gods, said the Dragon God, soon getting up to go with Piccolo, but Zalama soon stopped. Piccolo said, it won't be necessary. Bulma is with him. And don't get me wrong, but we don't know you well enough to trust you to take care of Goku, and we are already using the seeds of the gods. Krillin, do you have the seeds of the gods or not? Said the Namekian while looking at Zalama, and then at Krillin, who was a little surprised by the way the Namekian spoke to Zalama, but soon answered the Namekian's question. Yes, I have some of the seeds of the gods with me. Here, take the seeds of the gods, said the human, soon taking a seed of the god and giving it to Piccolo, who took it and then left the place, going to where the Saiyan would be, leaving Krillin and his family with Zalama. Zalama spoke. I'm very curious about these seeds of the gods. Could I get just one, just to see her? Asked the dragon god to Krillin, who found it a little strange, but didn't feel any kind of ulterior motives in the dragon god's speech. Krillin said, well, normally I wouldn't give the seeds of the gods to someone else if it was a matter of life and death, but you're known to Beerus and Whis, so you must be someone nice. Here's a seed of the gods, said the human, soon taking another seed of the gods and giving it to Zalama, who took it and began to analyze it. Zalama thought, it's like I thought. These seeds of the gods have a slight divine energy. I can swear that they have an extreme recovery power. Because of a Namekian who managed to transform himself into a god millennia ago, because her energy seems very much like mine, and only a descendant of mine could generate her or my creation, thought the dragon god while looking closely at the seed of the gods. Zalama felt a divine energy very similar to his, or someone who would be genetically linked to him. Zalama thought, this energy really looks like mine, but it is too weak. If I create a version of the seed of the gods using my true energy, it will have a much greater power than this seed of the gods. Maybe it can even revive the dead and make mortals immortal. Now that I know how it was created, I just need to create my version. Now I know how to create my god seeds. Divine dragon seeds, thought the dragon god with a mental smile, since now Zalama knew how to create the seeds of the gods after analyzing them very well. Zalama said, they are really very interesting. In my time, it was not thought that things like that could exist, and if they had been, I think it would have been me who would have created them, or one of my descendants, said the dragon god while returning the seeds of the god to Krillin, who soon got up to go to Beerus and Whis, who were eating. Now with Piccolo. With Piccolo, it was possible to see that the Namekian was already returning to the place where the Capsule Corporation was, where Goku was recovering, and when he arrived, he saw that Goku was still inside the capsule and that Bulma and Vegeta were waiting for the Namekian. Vegeta spoke. You sure took your time. Was it hard to find that human in the middle of the party? Asked the Saiyan Prince in a mocking tone to the Namekian, who just sighed. Piccolo said, it took a while because Zalama was with Krillin and tried to come along to help wake up Goku with his powers. But I refused at the same time and said I didn't trust him enough to let him take care of Goku, said the Namekian while looking at Vegeta and Bulma. Bulma said, you did the right thing, Piccolo. Now without further ado, I'm going to get Goku out of this recovery capsule, and when Goku comes out, you give him the seeds of the gods, Piccolo, said the woman already going to the center, where she controlled the machines. After reaching the control center, Bulma began to press some buttons that were on the machine, making it drain the green liquid that had the ability to recover energy and heal injuries. And after the machine drained all that liquid, the machine opened and Goku was released from the cables that held him, making the Saiyan go against the ground. But Piccolo was faster and managed to hold Goku. Piccolo put him on the ground and then put a seed of the gods in the Saiyan's mouth that even ate it. Bulma said, how are you feeling, Goku? Asked the woman when approaching the Saiyan, who after recovering his strength because of the seed of the gods, Goku stood up and faced the people who were in the place. Goku said, I'm feeling a little muscle pain and headache, but other than that, I don't feel anything else. Man, I must have taken a real beating from that Zalama. No wonder he's one of the strongest beings in all the universes, said the Saiyan while remembering some parts of his fight against Zalama, where the Saiyan lost badly. Vegeta spoke. Enough with the bullshit. Bulma, explain to Goku the theory we have about Zalama, said the Prince of Saiyans to his wife, who soon began to explain about them not trusting Zalama and that they needed to talk to the High Priest. Goku said, right, so you need that button that Zeno gave me to be summoned on this planet, and there you will talk to the Daishinka about Zalama. I know where that button is. It's somewhere in my house, so we'll have to go there and look for it, said the Saiyan, wearing a pair of clothes that Bulma had asked Chi-Chi to bring to the Saiyan when he woke up. Piccolo said, so let's go, because the more time passes, the more Zalama has to prepare and do. Who knows what, said the Namekian while looking at Goku. The Namekian and everyone present agreed, nodding. Now with Zalama. Currently with the Dragon God, it was possible to see that Zalama was inside the Capsule Corporation, somewhere a place that Zalama shouldn't be. Until Zalama arrived in the room and soon entered it, seeing that there was his objective. Zalama said, this one must be the famous time machine. I must say that it is impressive that a human has built it, said the Dragon God while looking at the time machine created by Bulma. Zalama said, but I can't complain. After all, thanks to this machine, I will be able to accomplish feats, and one of them will be to recruit the famous Goku Black to my side, and together with him and other people, I will finally be able to dominate all the universes," said the Dragon God with a huge smile on his face. With that, we will end today's video. If you want to see the continuation of this incredible story, leave a lot of likes in the video and comment what you think, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you guys another day!